Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on Silent Hill 2 Remake after streaming the game. At this point right now it's been now a week since I've streamed the game, and there is no words to describe my level of happiness with this game. I've said this before in my last few videos. This is going to be the best remake I ever played, period. And guess what? It is. And I had hopes that this remake will deliver. But what I didn't expect is the levels of shock, the levels of details, and everything about this game. Some I kind of expected from the game in terms of gameplay. I didn't expect the pacing of the game. I've been hearing a lot of, at the time, hearing the game be 18 hours long, so it's basically like Resident Evil levels. And everything about it, I've been hearing a lot. And I have to say, this is a masterful remake. And I'll tell you guys why this is a masterful remake for me. First things first, let's talk about the story. Hasn't changed. It hasn't changed one bit. Same story. James went to Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his wife, who spent death of 3 years by a disease, and come to meet her in their special place. Yeah. So basically that's the story, the premise, so the same thing. So yeah, story. Same thing. The symbolism, very identical, but they kind of expanded a little bit on the symbolism, especially with James. They expand upon it, him being a clerk worker. That's one thing. Alcoholic. That's been now, because we already knew James was alcoholic because the amount of alcohol and booze and that was night. But this game kind of confirms it. So it's that one. The characters. Every character is still the same except for James. Now, here's the thing. Konami have legit made James Sunderland from a stone kind of normal human being to a pretty much a good guy, if I had to say so myself. Because with basically emotions, and he is his character, he has actually character in comparison to his original counterpart. He actually has personality and character compared to his original counterpart, which really good. And the performance of James Sunderland is my favorite. He is probably the voice actor, the motion capture, everything about him in that remake is a 10 out of 10. It is amazing. It is awesome. I love James. James is amazing in this game, without a doubt. Angela was really, really good as well. It's basically the voice acting in every character, to be honest, is really good. We'll talk about it. She's pretty good. Like her quite a lot. As well as Maria and Mary. Like them as well as Eddie. They're all the same. They're all pretty much identical. Haven't changed a lot. There's not too much change. Eddie has kind of the characters did not change at all. There's subtle changes with some of the characters, but they're not too noticeable. They're subtle, but it's not too crazy. But they're mostly the same character, except for James. I actually love James in this game compared to his original cover. It's an improvement. It's an improvement, which is awesome. I have to say about the voice acting that the voice acting is amazing. It is a 10 out of 10 voice acting. Even though in some areas the voice acting felt iffy, but now to just hearing the game, I felt like everything, especially I was saying about James, his voice actor felt some parts were eh. But then realizing that they are going a bit of a grounded approach with the voice acting, it was amazing. All the characters are amazing. I especially love Maria/Mary voice actress. I love her. She's amazing. She's hella awesome. And I love her take on Maria is a little bit different here. It's more of a kind of felt like soft spoken and everything. I know she doesn't put too much emotion. There's no like over exaggeration. They kind of removed over exaggerating characters and everything. They removed that completely from its original. I know people say they want the over exaggeration. To be honest, I feel like I love the more grounded, more realistic approach. I much prefer that approach in my opinion. Personally, just me. It's just me. I feel like it's a much better approach when it comes to the voice acting. And it's really good and it paid off very well. The next thing I'll talk about is the enemies. Well, for enemies, let's talk about the gameplay. Yeah, I know the game will be third person. I kind of expected what it is from my gunplay wise. I kind of expected it from gunplay and melee. But honestly, the meleeing in this game is satisfying. Like, fighting enemies in this game is satisfying. It felt stiff when I saw the trailer, the combat trailer, but getting my hands on the game, actually playing it, it felt satisfying. It felt good. It felt responsive. Hitting the enemies, the impact when you hit the melee weapons, like the pipe or the stick, it is so satisfying. Very satisfying to pull off hits, the stomping. You can even tell by James so he stomps, he feels out of breath, like out of fear and everything, which is amazing attention to detail with the character. Very amazing, love that. So I think the gunplay is pretty good. It's pretty good. So combat wise, or gameplay wise, it's pretty dang good. It's the best in the series. I have to say so, but of course it's not the strongest suit. Obviously. Enemies. Talk about overhauls. Overhauls basically the name of the game when it comes to the remake. They overhaul a lot of things. They overhaul the enemies, and every enemy feels very much unique. How I say about this? Well, I can tell you this. That every enemy has specific AI kind of program. Every enemy programmed very differently compared to the original, because the original all are the same. They walk slowly messing at you, and they hit you, and that's it. There's nothing too crazy. They're not doing anything crazy. They're not gonna do anything like, there's no smart AI, just they're all coming at you. So every enemy is different. So the line figures, they're a bit of you know, with the remake, they're scary. They're terrifying. They're scary. They're pretty gross to deal with. But they're pretty good enemies. But I think to me they're weaker in this between. I mean, they're just normal. Not having like change from the original. The mannequins. Oh boy, these motherfuckers have a major upgrade, and I would say that the mannequins are the best enemy in the entire game. In the entire remake, in the original, these guys were easy to kill. In the remake, they put adrenaline. They literally like, it's like, that's a payback. This is a payback, bitch. And legit, they are the best enemy in the game. AI wise. And behavior, amazing. The thing about them is that they love to hide and seek. Their best specialty is hidden. Like to be hidden in places. And then since they're mannequins, they stay in like positions, or they stay in one direction. And sometimes the radio frequency does not pick up until they are aggroed at you. It's like the design of the enemy and how it behaves is a 10 out of 10. Even I don't recommend a melee battle between them. They would weave and hit back, and they do counter hits. It's like, damn, this guy's a fighter. Like, this is a most badass enemy in the game. I don't know how the fuck they turned a normally sized, like, weak enemy to the most threatening enemy in the game. Every enemy is threatening on their own level. The nurses, they're pretty dang good. They're very, 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 very good. They have, you can sneak by them. You don't have to aggro them. Yeah, there's weakness you can hit. Of course, you can shoot them in the face. But the best way when it comes to combat, how to deal with enemies, basically, is all the regular enemies. Is shoot them in the knees. They get kneel down and hit with a melee attack. That's literally the best way to deal with enemies. And this is something I've learned pretty quick. As I went through the game, I learned it pretty quickly. So yeah, nurses are pretty good. Have rebranding AI behavior. I like it. Pretty good. The bugs are the same. Nothing too crazy. Speaking of other enemy that have a major overhaul, the fucking marionettes. You know, these guys, you see them underground and they have nothing to do. They can't attack. They're harmless. Forget about that. In the remake, they harm you. They attack. So they're not safe. And it's fucked up and they're scary. They're actually a threat. It's kind of funny how these enemies were at beginning, at the original, they're like, they're whatever enemies, blah, blah, blah. But in the remake, they're like, oh shit, they're a threat. Look, big threats. They're freaking threatening. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. And every enemy besides the marionettes have a secondary version. Basically meaning has an otherworld version. So basically everyone has like otherworld version, and they have different attacks and different like stats. Like for example, lion figures, they are darker and more beat up, and they have extra attacks because once you kill them, they let out one last attack before they die. They spit acid. They just spew acid before they fully die. So we gotta be careful and dodge away from them. The mannequins, they become four-legged mannequins, and they skirt around, and they're only appearing in the prison area, and some of the later levels. These guys are annoying. They're probably the most annoying enemies to deal with, and they jump around and hit you, and they won't go away. So yeah, bit annoying. The other world nurses are basically darker nurses. They change from a pipe to a knife, because I thought they have a gun, because really at times I felt like they have a gun. Imagine they have a gun, it would be scary. But at the same time, it would not be scary because it'll be goofy. But it is what it is. So, enemies are amazing. Every enemy is unique, and it's different, and they act differently, instead of like they all act the same. This game is intense. There's a gameplay. This game is pretty much a reverse. In the original, it's pretty like calm, and you just deal with enemies quick. And like once you like play the game a few times, like okay, it's the same thing. Easy run through, right? This game is extremely intense, and if you watch my stream, which I'll probably link it down below, is that I feel like, the game is intense. A lot of people can have issues like they throw in way too many enemies. I feel like their job is not to make you feel stressed, is because not make you feel stressed, but make you feel intense. Intensity is pretty much cranked up to 11. The game is it has its calm moments, but not as much. But it like the calm moments in the game, in the remake, there's specific parts that they say, hey, you can just walk through the places and go to the next area, no enemies around. So there's a lot of enemies, especially the prison. The prison is very stressful part. Not only that, the otherworld hospital, it is a stressful segment, very stressful segment. But it's cool segments. I like every single segment in the game. I felt every segment is pretty dang good. So yeah, it's pretty dang good. Speaking of areas, that's the next part. The areas got overhauled. A lot of the pacing in the original is like a straight road. It's literally a straight road from A to Z. The remake, however, there's some things you need to do to get to a certain section. For example, you're not gonna go all the way from the beginning, go to the places, find your first enemy, go some different place, get yourself the key, and then go to the Blue Creek apartment. Nope, there's like more things you can do. There's like things you can do, there's obstacles you could go through to keep so you're not gonna walk around aimlessly in a dark freaking room or in a place forever, and it's gonna get very tedious. So the pacing is much better. There's enemies to kill. I mean, you can avoid them, but not as easy. And by the way, they include a dodge mechanic in the gameplay, so the dodge mechanic is really good. Really, really good. Love the dodge mechanic. It's really a lifesaver. And a lot of theirs are overhauled. Like the Blue Creek apartment, every got overhauled, got a different makeover, and it is very artistic, beautiful. The colors are beautiful. The graphics, by the way, in that game, it is gorgeous. Even in performance mode, which I played, beautiful, beautiful graphics. so beautiful. I love the graphics in the game. Everything about the game is gorgeous to look at. There's nothing bad, nothing horrible. All beautiful, all beauty. Colors are beautiful, popping colors, different ways. It is so goddamn good. None of them it felt like all the same. Every single place have a different color, different feel. Amazing, loving it. Pretty much loving it. So we got above the area. They have an otherworld Blue Creek apartment, which is creepy. It's amazing. As well, they have some like some areas got fully revamped, like the labyrinth areas got revamped. The Toluca prison, which is pretty much a section I hate the most, got revamped and got 10 times better. Heck, even every area got revamped, so it's beautiful, revamped. It's still as the original, but still fresh. Speaking of revamping, they also revamped the puzzles. Yep, the puzzles got revamped to like more creative puzzle. Even they have kind of a similar puzzle, but it has a bit of difference. Like the coin puzzle. The coin puzzle, there's three riddles you need to get things solved to get a key. Some new ones. There's certain puzzles that expanded upon. Really amazing. Really loving it. Love the new puzzles. Love the new places. Love everything about it. It's so fucking good. It's so good. Weapons are good. All the weapons are still the same. There are some weapons that are not being used or cut. For example, the hyper spray is cut from the game, which it's okay. The giant knife is not a weapon, it's just an item you can go through. The chainsaw still there, the handgun, shotgun, all still there. Here's another thing I like about this game, is that they literally took the source material and made it better. The glimpse, like when you go through the game, and the game gives you an icon, it's like, oh, what is this? And basically plays a segment, which I'm gonna show in the video right now. That whole thing right there. If you remember certain spots from the original, you can press X and it's like, oh, I remember this one. I remember that one. The game literally, reward you for exploring these areas, and there's an achievement tied to this area. Hell, they have the pizza line in there. Yes, they have the pizza line. There's some new areas in the game that's brand new, like the theater, for example. That's a new area. There's a small apartment complex. You can go there, and it's amazing. Hey, the Heaven's Night looks beautiful. Looks completely different to its original counterpart. It's really freaking good. Really loving it. And street photos, which is basically, these street photos are basically in a way like gear up to just references to the classic game. Yep, just references to the classic Resident Evil 2 with different stuff, different places. Like, oh, what is this? Oh, that's pretty cool. Street photos pretty cool. Cosmos really cool. I like it. The boss fights, other than the Pyramid Head bosses were pretty much the same, all of them got revamped. Flesh Lips got revamped. You fight one Flesh Lip and did some weird stuff, and has different attacks, has different phase. Another boss I think was pretty good is 𝑆𝐼𝐿𝐸𝑁𝑇. 𝑆𝐼𝐿𝐸𝑁𝑇 Daddy boss is by far the best boss in the game. Best boss in the game, amazing, love it. Pyramid Head bosses, pretty good. The first one's pretty good. The second one as well is pretty cool as well. The final boss is interesting. The Eddie boss fight is awesome. Every boss is pretty cool, except all the bosses are pretty good. And my favorite one has to be 𝑆𝐼𝐿𝐸𝑁𝑇. It's really good. And by the way, they added a bit of lore with 𝑆𝐼𝐿𝐸𝑁𝑇. The whole landscape is fucking amazing. I love the landscape of that bosses. Every boss, amazing, beautiful. Speaking of amazing, beautiful, soundtrack. It's basically taking the original soundtrack and just remix it. It's beautiful, it's amazing. I definitely cannot wait to listen to the whole soundtrack. Some soundtrack, all they did is just rip from the original, put it in the game. I mean, the original soundtrack is top tier, so why not reuse it? I mean, come on, they used Black Fairy, which is the Otherworld Lakeview Hotel. Same songs, I was like, awesome. I mean, songs are amazing, so why not? It's amazing. It's been amazing. I think this remake hit the mark. It hits the right spots. It hit the right places. It is beautiful. It's such a beautiful game. Has from A to Z the different endings you get. The same you got the original endings from the previous game, plus new endings. Yep, there's brand new endings. So it's pretty cool, amazing. And different places you do, like different stuff you can do with the game. It's amazing. It's just, this game is amazing. They haven't half-assed anything. They did not half-ass anything. Oh, just improve it. Just improve on the original. That's it. This remake, to me, shatters Resident Evil Engine remakes. The Engine remakes, they like to half-ass shit. They half-ass anything. They will half-ass anything. This is just a release, and that's it. I feel like Silent Hill 2 Remake did not half-ass anything. They literally they respect the game, respect the source material. They respect the original. They don't keep everything like the original. They have overhauls. They keep the game fresh. That is just, I feel like it's really goddamn good. I love this remake. And this remake is a success. As of right now, the game has been sold over 1 million copies. So 2 million copies, basically. It's just insane for just a few weeks. It is crazy. We haven't been a month yet, and the game's been sold like hotcakes. That means we're going to see more remakes? Absolutely. We're going to see a remake of the first title. That's definitely something I will definitely keep my eye on. I will definitely get ready. If the remake of number 2 is this good, that means Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is going to be good. It's going to be as good as this. And to me, a Silent Hill 2 remake, it gives me hope for the series to be good. That means it makes me excited to play the new Silent Hill titles. The brand new ones like Silent Hill F, for example. That's the Silent Hill title I'm definitely looking forward to. It's going to be amazing. Like, it's stuff like this that makes me feel happy. Silent Hill 2 Remake is a big success from every angle. I can't fault this game. This game might have minor glitches and bugs. They probably haven't updated, but they're probably going to update the game. So, again, the game is new. So, is the game flawlessly good? Yes. There's minor bugs, but the funny bugs, not like the bugs that breaks the game. I cannot lie. This game is so fucking good that I wish Capcom should take notes. Capcom, take notes. And by the way, people who doubt this game, cope as hard as you freaking can. That game, Silent Hill Remake, is a massive success. Is without a doubt the best remake I have ever played, period. Will it be beaten? Possibly. But this remake destroys the RE Engine Resident Evil remakes. It destroys them in every way, shape, or form. It is amazing. It is awesome. It is worth purchase. And I will do a full-fledged review one day on everything about the game, the story, and everything in the future. And more content, of course. This game is without a doubt a home run. It's 10 out of 10. Highly recommended. If you haven't played it, it is worth to pick it up. Even if you're new, pick the game up. It is this damn good. And I'm looking forward for other remakes. And I will look forward to the future of the series. Looks brighter than ever. And heck, it is a match in Silent Heaven.